I now invite Pacey Lai, who is the CEO of GX Bank, to give her speech, which is on fintech and the relevance of digital banking. Pacey, the floor is yours.
Good morning, distinguished guests, fellow speakers, and thank you, ASLI, for the opportunity to speak for GX Bank as well as all the new entrants actually to the financial industry, the digital banks. First off, a quick introduction of myself. I'm Pacey. I'm the CEO of GX Bank, and also an introduction of the digital banking framework. First off, actually in April 2022, the Bank Negara Malaysia gave away actually 5 licenses, right, to 5 players. And in April 2022, we were actually given 24 months to actually build a bank. And during those times is when they said that, okay, you've got 24 months to build a bank. You do have a regulatory framework that you need to see to, which is exactly the same as any commercial banks, right? And then within guardrails. What we needed to do was to make sure that we follow the banking regulations. And actually during the period, as we call it, foundational years, is when there are specific exercises that we actually grow to. So that when we are good to grow up, we then actually grow up actually to become a part of the graduation phase, and we grow up and actually join the other commercial banks. Now, during this period is when they also said that when we got the license, the mandate is a clear one. The mandate is first to digitize the financial industry, and the second mandate is to serve the underserved and the unserved segments. And with these mandates in mind, is when we then, I think all 5 of us, right, set off to build our bank. And as of now, I think all 5 of us are building as we speak, and one of us, like ourselves, have actually gotten the approval to commence operations in September this year. Now, my experience actually in the last now 18 months, going on 19 months, has been one that is an exhilarating one, but I probably put them into probably not 3 acronyms, but certainly actually one that is about learning actually new technologies and the ways of working, which is quite different actually from the banking industry. That's number 1. The second is really about unlearning as well. I spent 25 years in a traditional bank. And after joining the digital bank and being tasked to start up the company, it's really also about unlearning actually the ways of working and the status quo and challenge actually what's out there, what we thought was actually the ways of doing actually as a bank. And also I think most important is relearning. Actually learning new technologies and also unlearning how to actually not do something. And this relearning, learning as well as learning actually then forms how we set up actually the bank all this time. And actually truly digital banks are technology companies. We're not banks, but technology companies actually offering banking services and regulated actually by the central bank under the same rules as actually other commercial banks. And taking today's tech to product ideas as well as placing this into a regulated framework, what it does is that it helps us to, I think, keep pace with the new technologies out there as well as what the consumer behavioral changes are. And in Malaysia, because we are actually set up, right, with very clear mandates on what we need to actually do next, what that means is that we clearly know that we are here to set up a financial industry or set up a bank to disrupt with specific intent. Now, going back to the exact topic of actually today, fintechs and what's the relevance actually to digital bank? I think there are plenty. Fintechs by itself, because of the experience I've had using technology, using the data, being able to, I think, pace up, right? The way that one actually designs, what it helps us, I think, as we build actually a digital bank is we take all these learnings that a fintech has and have been able to actually provide and take that as a learning to actually build the bank that we are at. That's 1. 2 is that what does it actually give to the fintech, right? It gives the fintech, I think, the opportunity for partnership, and a partnership actually with a digital bank that is built from a blank piece of paper, straight up, and actually with using new technologies and new ways of working, which actually makes it a lot quicker, a lot faster to integrate. And that we hope that in partnering, actually the fintechs in future will be able to do so. The third is that given the digital banks is a fintech, offering banking services and regulated under the new regulatory framework, what it does actually give the digital banks also the ability to scale. Why the ability to scale is because with the regulation that's actually out there, there are capital as well as liquidity ratios that we need to see to. There are, therefore, the ability to build on both sides of the balance sheet, which is quite different actually from any fintech. We're able to take deposits and actually give our assets, and that allows us to grow. The fact that we have to see to actually all the regulation that's going to be out there also means that we have to see to the scrutiny, I think, of any regulator. That means that it allows us to scale and actually gain legitimacy with the customers that's actually completely actually out there, right? And that means that with this ability to the legitimacy as well as the scale that we can bring enables us to then actually make a difference, right, to the market out there, together with the learnings that we've had actually with fintech. Last is that I talked just now, actually spoke about the 4 Cs. And the fact is that truly, I think as you build a bank, it's about capital. It's about making sure that we've got enough capital to build the bank and enabling actually the balance sheet that we have and build it actually on both sides to ensure that we'll be able to scale. It's about compliance, right? Of which case, the fact that we are actually under a regulatory framework is an advantage. We're then able to then gain legitimacy. The third is around cost. Because we are building the bank actually from a blank piece of paper, what that means is that it enables us to take the amazing technology of today, making sure that we're able to make it a little bit more modular, a little bit more agile, a little bit quicker, to be able to integrate with players. That allows us to then manage cost. The fourth is really around competition. Competition is, I think it's a plus and not a minus, because in many cases, we bring actually the best out of competition to be able to then actually grow up together. And I'd like to add a fifth. The fifth is around customers. In the real, when we actually build things actually from ground up and knowing actually what customers' behaviors are changing, the data that actually accompanies those customers are also changing. It allows us to then actually build that customer, a solution actually for customer that probably truly actually need. So in summary, we are extremely excited to be part of this transformative journey, right? As part of one of the 5 digital banks that's actually out there in Malaysia. And we hope that we work with not only the fintechs, but the traditional banks to actually find a way to progress, right, along in the entire financial industry to then actually serve not only the served segments, but also the underserved as well as the unserved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pacey, for sharing the GX Bank's experience.